Linus, I think let's start off with just running us through how the market performed yesterday and your views on the optimism that we see in the banking sector.
Yeah, clearly you can see that the activities in the banking sector, which have significantly impacted on the capital market in Nigeria, is gradually giving way as we appear at the end of the crisis. Yesterday, you can see that the market, after running for closing in the negative for some time now, actually recorded some positive yesterday by closing at 0.07%. And even the market capitalization also advanced by 4.5 billion. Yesterday too, taking the total market cap to 6.4 trillion. Overall, this is largely driven by the resolution of the crisis in the banking sector, and we expect to see more in this direction. And if you look at what has been happening now, we have just about 2 banks now, that we're expecting them to also approve, the consolidation and merger with the people who are interested in acquiring them. The development between Access Bank and Intercontinental Bank, and also if you also look at Oceanic Bank and ETI, and just recently Sterling Bank and ETB, all this, it's a good development for the markets, and we expect it to continue to have a positive impact in the market in the days ahead. And also as we approach the end of Q3 too, we also expect the favorable corporate results that is going to hit the market to also lift the market in the right direction.
Favorable corporate results, you say, in the banking sector or just overall for Nigerian companies?
You said what?
Favorable corporate results for Q3 in the banking sector.
Yeah, we expect a very good result from the banking industry and even some blue chip companies too. And we expect the result to actually leave the markets in the days ahead. Even though some of these good corporate results did not actually leave the markets as of Q2 because of the significant impact of the yet to be resolved banking sector crisis. But as we approach the end of this crisis, by end of September, we expect that the subsequent result that will hit the market should leave the market in the positive direction.
So optimism going forward, but let's focus in on that Sterling Bank and Equitorial Trust Bank transaction. Now, if you look at Sterling's traditional strengths, they lie in structured and trade finance, cash management and treasury. What benefit does ETB bring to the Sterling stronghold?
Yeah, if you look at Equitorial Trust Bank and Sterling Bank, I think their combination is going to be a good one for both banks, because traditionally Sterling Bank is much bigger than Equitorial Trust Bank, and Equitorial Trust Bank has been more or less like a niche player, servicing the businesses of one of their major shareholders. But with the combination coming in, by combining with Sterling Bank, we expect them to leverage on the retail banking strength of Sterling Bank, and also this should, be a good development for the shareholders of both the Equitorial Trust Bank and Sterling Bank. And even from their major talk yesterday, we see that the shareholders of Equitorial Trust Bank will get about 10% in the new enlarged bank, which will be good for them.
Let's move on to the focus really today in the banking sector is FCMB and FinBank. What do you make of that deal? Most analysts say that's their favorite deal of the three.
Yeah, we expected that at the end of the day too, the combination between FCMB and FinBank should come through, and this should be a very good marriage between the two banks. Because if you look at FinBank, they are very strong technologically, and if you also look at FCMB with their capital market strength and their merchant banking capability, we expect the two unions, to produce a very good bank at the end of the day, which will serve all the stakeholders, very well.
The focus has been on the banking sector, but moving away from the banking sector, which stocks have been outperformers really in this bearish trend that we've seen for the month of September?
You said?
Which stocks in the stock market away from the banking sector, because we have been focusing quite a lot on those banking stocks which have been under pressure, of course that barring the jump that we saw yesterday. Which stocks out of the banking sector have been outperformers in this bear market trend?
Yeah, if you look at yesterday, the market gained about 0.7%, and it was largely driven, by the heavyweight in the banking sector, especially First Bank, UBA, Guarantee Trust Bank, and even Zenith. But if you also look at a good performance from shares like Nestle too, has also done well in the market. So we expect that in the days ahead, the share price of highly capitalized stock, both in the banking sector and even in other conglomerates, should help to drive the market in the positive direction.
Let's focus in on the currency because, of course, the Naira has moved out of that CBN band, which allows for that 3% deviation or 3 Naira deviation from that 150 mark. What do you make of this currency depreciation, and what do you take from the regulators' commitment to defending the currency?
Yeah, at the end of trading yesterday, we saw the Naira trading at about 154.60 to a dollar, and this is the first time, that the Naira is trading, above the 150 plus 3 or minus 3% that CBN has always targeted. So for Naira to actually, traded above, outside the lower band of the, exchange rate, is an indication that there might likely be policy shift. For some time now, CBN has always defended the Naira, but by allowing the Naira to trade outside this band, it might be an indication that CBN might likely favor, the accretion of external reserve rather than defending the, the Nigerian Naira.
Would you say that the CBN is losing its battle to defend the currency, despite the increases that we've seen in the MPR?
No, I would not say so, because if you look at it yesterday, what actually caused the problem was that CBN was reluctant to actually match, its supply with the demand in the market. But yesterday, they were able to match supply, and that actually made Naira to appreciate. And, the only problem is that, CBN needs to decide whether you continue to favor defending the Naira or allow the external reserve to increase. But I think CBN is fully committed to defending the Naira within the 150 plus or minus 3% band, and it's going to continue, with its monetary policy tightening as it battles inflation and exchange rate problem.
And given the reliance of the Nigerian economy on imports at this point?
Yeah, because so far we know that Nigeria is an import-dependent country, but CBN should just try to make sure that it meets all the genuine demands in the market. But as the country continues to increase its importation, because we're import-dependent, the likelihood of increasing, bringing import inflation into the country is high. But I believe strongly that CBN, with its monetary policy, should be able to tackle all the challenges that comes with an import-dependent country like Nigeria in the days ahead.